What's up guys, boys and girls, fellow collectors from all around the world. Ivan Seb, the French collector, is back for yet another video, guys. Extremely excited today because finally my Ghostface masks from Scream VI, the aged version, finally showed up. So just in time for spooky season. I got this from Mad About Horror over there in the UK. That's my first purchase from these guys, but I have a feeling it won't be the last. I was just checking their website the other day. They have fantastic stuff. So I'm gonna put this right here before we open it. I'm gonna give you a quick update regarding my collection of Ghostface masks. For those who haven't seen my previous Scream Ghostface related videos in the past, I'm a huge Scream fan. So here's my first one that my mom bought for me in the Scream 2 era. So I'm not saying this is the exact one I was using in Scream 2, I'm not sure. But I got this one in the 96, 97, something like that. It turned completely yellow, but I'm gonna leave it as is. I love it. This is actually how it should have been in Scream 6, you know? Look at the eye mesh glue in there is completely yellow, but it still has this vanilla smell. I love it. So anyway, here we have another mask also from back in the day that I got in the 90s. It's the bleeding mask. It still works. It has a little leak somewhere. I can't tell for sure. But last time I used it, I had a bit of fake blood on my forehead. But anyway, also turned yellow. I might get a second one. 25th anniversary. This mask might be my favorite. So some of you guys might wonder, if this is a 25th anniversary mask, how come it doesn't have the sparkly hood? It's because this is the mask that came with the 25th anniversary robe. So it was just a mask without a hood. So what I did is I took the hood of this ultra wide and put it on this one. So again, 25th anniversary mask, but the one that came with the robe. Here's another ultra wide mask. This one still has its hood. So I know a lot of people hate these masks. I'm not a big fan myself, but it's still good to have one in the collection at least. This one, I'm gonna use it in the future. It'll come in handy. I'm quite sure I'm gonna use it probably to mod another mask. You know, I'm gonna try to recreate a Scream V mask, you know, with this particular straight shape that I love so much. So stay tuned for that. Then we have a couple hard plastic masks. So I'm gonna try to add a shroud on at least one of these two. And then there's another mask over there, but this one I'll show you in a couple minutes. You'll understand why. But now let's open this freaking box. Really excited. So just love that smell. Okay, so I love it, but there's a but, okay? There's a few interesting things to say. Let's check the second one first, right? I love it, I love it. I always buy 2 or 3 because I'm always afraid that they'll come, you know, warped and crooked and out of shape. And it's the case for this one. However, I love it because it looks like a freaking Gen 1. Look at this, guys. Damn, what happened to this one? The nose completely pushed in. Look at the shape of the eyes. Damn. Holy shit, that's some hardcore shape right now. Damn, usually I give them the, you know, the hair dryer treatment, but I'm not gonna do this for this one. I'm gonna keep it as is. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. So now there's a few things that I want to say. Let's put this one aside for the moment. I like Scream 6, but still, first time I saw it in the theater, I walked out. I felt a little bit let down. I was disappointed. It's not my favorite Scream, not even close. However, I really loved the mask in the movie. And still, I thought it was kind of lazy because for us Scream fans, I think they should have, for a movie that had a what, $35 million budget, maybe 40, I can't remember for sure. How is this even possible that they couldn't track down an original Gen 1, from back in the day and mod that one? Clearly, they want you to believe that's Billy's mask. It's not Billy's mask, but okay. I still like the look of the mask. So here is the other one that I was talking about a couple minutes ago that I wanted to show you. Here is an EU stamp that I modded to make it look like the Scream VI mask. Now, bear in mind, it's not perfect. Obviously, when I did this, Scream VI had not yet been released, and the only pictures I had were pictures from the trailer. Basically from that bodega scene, right? And a picture that helped me a lot that was also in the trailer is, at the end of the movie when Sam just drops the mask on the floor in the street and just leaves, and you have this picture of the mask first in her hands and then on the sidewalk or on the road, and those are the pics that helped me, that I used. Now, when I did this back in the day, I got quite a positive feedback. The video is still on my YouTube channel, go back and check it out, but a couple folks said it looks nice, but it's a bit too subtle, the weathering. It could have been even more, maybe so. But if this is too subtle, this is way overdone compared to what you see in the movie. The forehead area is quite accurate, I would say. Well, when I say accurate, even in the movie, no two masks are alike. You'll see Billy's mask in some scenes, you'll notice little differences. So obviously, you're never gonna have exactly the same. But this is way overdone. Now, what's interesting is that if I take again this one that has this crazy shape, right? Let's check, for example, this area right here and the same area on that other mask, right? Both are supposed to be the same, and yet look at the weathering on that one compared to this one. So, but this too, I mean, it's way too much compared to what you see in the movie. Like I said, the forehead overall is accurate. These cracks, these big ass cracks here, these smaller ones, that crack on the side, that part that's missing here, but it's the smaller cracks and all this weathering that you have in the lower half of the mask. Now, something else is that, their overall color or tone, I think, is a bit too dark. I don't know how it looks on camera, but seeing them with my own eyes, I think they're a bit too dark. Obviously, they're supposed to look old and weathered, but even in the movie, I think they were a tad lighter than this. It should be, I guess, somewhere in between this and this, right? I may sound like I'm criticizing a lot, but all I'm saying is it's too much weathering compared to what you see in Scream VI, but I still love it. I mean, I absolutely love it. And in any case, I still have this one that I did, and I plan on giving it another try, because for this I used an EU stamp when in the movie in Scream VI, I believe those were 25th anniversary. So I might buy another 25th anniversary mask and giving it the Scream VI treatment. But anyway, a few more observations. For the first time, actually, I get a Ghostface mask that is black inside when all the other ones are white. So it was molded in black plastic, black rubber. I don't think I've had another Ghostface mask that had this foam here glued inside on the forehead. And this one also doesn't have a mouth hole here. I don't know how you want to call this. But when it does have one in the movie, so obviously if it was a 25th, it had to have one. So maybe these will be super limited. Maybe they'll add the hole on later batches, who knows? What I want to do now is I'm going to try and give you a closer look, better comparison between these two. Now, before I compare it with my mask, with my custom mask, let's just compare these two, which again are the same, but let's just compare the paint apps. As you can see, the weathering here, like I showed you earlier, is like non-existent here. Same in this area. Same over there. Also, inside these cracks, this one is much lighter. I love the shape so much. I'm not even gonna try to mod it. I'm gonna leave this one exactly as is. Now this one, let's compare it now with mine. Gonna put this aside. I tried to add a bit of blood, again, as seen on that final picture when Sam drops it on the floor. What's not on this mask also is the brown paint apps, which you can see in the movie. It kind of looks like dried iMesh glue showing through. So they forgot to put that brown color on here. Now if I'm gonna try to do it myself, it won't be as obvious as here because this mask is so much darker. The shape of this crack, when I did it, I should have done it bigger, but I think the overall shape of it is more accurate from what I can remember. And all these little cracks in the lower half, I actually repainted the mask white first and then sculpted the cracks. So what you see in there is the original color of the mask before I started modding it. Same here. Now for the bigger cracks on my mask, I use different techniques. For example, this one up there, and all these cracks here are sculpted with a soldering iron. This one here, it sucks because I used epoxy. I put a layer on epoxy on here, but it started to come off now. See? So I'm gonna have to glue it before it falls off. You know, because I was a bit disappointed by Scream VI, I only watched it twice. I mean, I don't hate the movie, I liked it, but it's just not what I was expecting back in the day. So because I only watched it twice, you know, I really should take this mask and compare it, you know, with what I see on screen while watching the movie. But still, from what I can remember, you didn't have all these cracks here between the mouth and the nose on the side here. And if they were there, they were definitely not as obvious, you know, not as noticeable. I mean, you can see these from a mile away. What I also don't like, but again, it's because the mask is black and this is all painted, but is how they forgot to paint this part, the inner part of the mouth on the sides, you see? But it should be more like this. I also repainted the mouth on mine when I did this. I repainted the eyes inside also. I'm still tempted to maybe try and repaint this one. I don't know if I should try it. I want to do it, but it's, you know what, actually let's just do it right now, see how it goes. So I'm gonna do something that I never done before in my life, because I don't know how latex or rubber reacts. I'm gonna use a bit of paint remover to lighten the tone of the mask. But hopefully it'll just take off that crazy dark weathering, but not the white paint that's underneath. That's why I gotta do it very gently. It doesn't need to be perfect after all, because the mask is supposed to look old, right? I'm gonna have to wash it once I'm done. It's starting to come off pretty nicely. Starting to look better in my opinion. Yeah. Now it's still not perfect, but check now the color of this mask compared to this one. There are a few places where the original black color started to show through, so now I'm gonna give these areas a slight repaint First, I'm gonna wash it. It's gonna be a bit challenging now. I'm gonna try to get rid of these black spots right here, but still try to keep some of these cracks. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I might have to paint it all white and then go over these cracks again with a little sculpting tool. Gonna put a bit of tape in the mouth just so I can repaint the edges. So for this process, I'm using plain white and titanium bleach because I don't want it to be too white. Can't be snow white. I'm giving a slight repaint to the eyes. And actually, I just finished repainting the mouth. We're gonna make some of these cracks reappear now. We're gonna give some of these cracks, gonna give them a slight repaint. Well, I think I'm pretty much done. Of course, I could go on and on and on. There's always going to be that little detail that I missed. You know, I can still change it in the future. But what I'm going to do now, and this will be the final step, is I'm going to add a bit of that brown paint around the eyes again to create that, you know, that eye mesh glue effect showing through, like I said. Although I'm not sure it's supposed to be eye mesh glue because in the movie it's also got a bit of a brown paint around the mouth and nose area. I could be wrong. What I have in my mind right now, actually it's what I'm going to use, I guess, to add this brown paint, is a picture of a screen used mask that I saw online not too long ago. But it's the mask, it's still Billy's mask, but it's the prop worn by Melissa Barrera, I think her name is, when she takes it off after stabbing Bailey at the end. So again, it's supposed to be the same story-wise, but it's a different one. But anyway, I saw a picture of that mask the other day online, and I'm gonna try to use this picture now to do the brown paint. I gotta be extremely gentle not to put too much of it. And just dab it. I still can't believe the shape of that mask. But anyway, I'm done. So I wanted to add a bit of blood, but I won't for the moment. This is now my interpretation of the Scream VI mask. I'm just happy that this crazy weathering in the lower half, these cracks are now less noticeable. They're still there, obviously they're sculpted, but it's a lot less shocking. So you might think this is now too white, but it's not, because look, boom. This is the original color of a Ghostface mask. This is too dark. This is too dark. Not perfect, obviously, not by any means. Let's compare it now with the one I did in, I think, February or March. I think I prefer the brown parts on my first try. Went a bit over the top now on this, but it's okay. It's okay. And again, I'll try to give the Scream VI treatment to a 25th anniversary mask someday. Should I add a bit of blood? No, I won't. Not for the moment. So some of you might like it, some of you might hate it, but it's something that I wanted to try. I mean, I can still get more. I'm gonna get at least one more of these, just because I want one stock, but I'm not changing the shape of this one. Anyway, guys, that was Yves Seb, the French Collector. And I'm signing out. Peace out.